Hi friends, thank you so much for joining me on my channel as we cook this anti-inflammatory, very cozy Pinterest recipe tonight. I am so glad you came along for the ride. I've cooked this a couple of times and I really love it, especially during the colder months. So yeah, let's get going. So as you can see here, I have chopped up the carrots that I had. They were a little bit thick, so I want to make sure they cook down properly. Now I've heated up a pan of olive oil and now I'm putting in the chopped ginger. And now I'm adding garlic. I did have fresh cloves of garlic that I could have cut up, but I already had this minced garlic that I needed to finish out, so I'm putting it in the pan here. And now here I'm adding the chopped onion, which, oh my gosh, I was almost in tears cutting these up, but I learned a little trick. I don't know where it was from, maybe the cooking channel, but I squeezed a little lemon on my cutting board to prevent just the crying everywhere, tears everywhere. So what is it about soup that makes it feel soothing to the soul? Is it the warmth that lands right in the heart, or maybe it's the taste or texture? Ooh, you know what? It might be that book about chicken soup. Well, whatever it is, I'm very thankful for it, especially when I rediscover its greatness during the time where I just want to wrap up in a blanket and watch the snow from the inside of my place. Now that the onions, garlic, and ginger has gotten a little brown, here I'm adding in the carrots and we're going to cook those down. All right, here I'm adding 2 cups of vegetable stock, and then we're gonna let that simmer. Simmer. Who's got the keys? Simmer. You know the rest. Let's have a little chat while we wait. Grab your water, wine, whatever you like, and let's have a chat. So, I just remember that there were certain vegetables, fruits, things that I was a very picky eater when I was younger. And there's just certain things I would not eat, like, ever. And one of those things was broccoli. And I refused to eat it. And I just remember when I was a kid, my mom, she cooked this meal and broccoli was a part of it. And I was like, I'm not eating it. Not eating it. You can't make me. And she was like, you're gonna eat this broccoli. And she expressed some tough love and was like, in fact, you're gonna sit here at this table and you're going to sit there until you eat it. And I was like, I'm not gonna eat it. I can tough it out. I can hold out for a long time. I'm not eating this broccoli. So anyway, it came to a point where I was like, well, I guess I'm gonna be sitting here for a while, but at some point she's just gonna tell me to get up. So I'm just gonna sit here until she does. So she actually left the kitchen, left me in the at the dining room table, and shut off the lights on me as I was sitting there at the table. Oh my gosh. It's so funny to think about now, but I was like, I was at the point of tears. I'm like, broccoli is so disgusting. I will never eat it. But what she did actually had an effect on me, and now as an adult, I love broccoli. Love broccoli so much. I'll eat it with anything. I'll eat it roasted, steamed, whatever. I love it now. So guess what she did? It worked.
Comment below if there was something that you didn't eat when you were a kid, but now you eat as an adult. Okay, after that has simmered down for about 15 minutes, here I am putting that little mixture, that carrot mixture, into my blender here. All right, there's one more ingredient that we cannot miss, and that is coconut milk. And there are studies that show that coconut milk has antimicrobial and anti-inflammatory properties, which help support a healthy immune system. So we're going to stir it up and add it into our blend. Okay, don't fight me, but I like to add my spices when the mixture is already in the blender instead of when it's in the pan, because I like to make sure that my spices are equally blended into the mixture. Alright, so this recipe calls for adding in a little maple syrup, and here is some that I picked up in my recent travels to Toronto, so we're going to add that in.
All right, so our soup is all blended. We'll just leave it there for a second. And there's one element of this recipe that I included in the last few times that I made this soup, and it was a special ingredient or a specialized item from Trader Joe's, which was pumpkin spiced pumpkin seed. A few weeks ago. So I'm going to try to recreate the taste of those with these roasted and salted pumpkin seeds. So what I've got here is ground cinnamon, which, by the way, is also very good for digestion. I've got some cloves, which kind of gives it like a pumpkin pie type of taste. And then we're going to use some of the same maple syrup that we've been using for this recipe as well. So I'm going to pour these into a little ramekin. And then after the cinnamon, we're going to add our cloves. And then we're going to add some maple syrup. And here's our finished product. Now you can roast these in the oven. If you have plain pumpkin seeds, you can do your mixture and then roast it in the oven. But since these are already roasted, I'm going to keep them just as it is.
All right, so now it's time for the pour. And I'm putting my soup into these little ramekins that I like to take for lunch. And I'll pour the rest into a larger bowl that I'll keep in the fridge for a few more days, so I can take it for lunch a few more days. But it's really, really great, very convenient, and yeah, I love it. All right, so now we're going to take our pumpkin seeds and we're just going to spread them out right on top, and wow, look at that. That looks so good. And just because we're fancy, let's get some of that coconut milk, drizzle it on top, and then we're gonna get that syrup and sprinkle some of that on top, and we are done. Woohoo!
They're the ones that I usually get from Trader Joe's. They're cauliflower crisp, and these are made with cauliflower, brown rice, coconut milk, seeds, and seasonings. And it's gluten-free, which I always opt for. So when I eat gluten-free, I usually feel my best. So these are awesome.
Thanks so much for joining me for this cozy cooking session. Thank you to Aline.com for this wonderful recipe, which I will add in the info box below. And I am wishing you peace and love, and let's continue to build a beautiful life with what we have. Mwah.